What's up, Tackle Warehouse fans? We're down here, Orlando, Florida, ICAST 2024 at the Yamamoto booth. Here with two of probably the funniest and fishiest dudes that are always good friends of Tackle Warehouse. Cody Meyer, Brett Hite, here to talk about the new Yamamoto baits. We're gonna go ahead and let Brett talk about some of his favorite new Yamamoto baits.
The Covert Craw, this is a 2.5 inch bait. We just came out with this thing. You know, a lot of guys are going more finesse these days, and you know, all our waters are getting, you know, heavily pressured. So this new bait, it's out of our floating material, which is a little tougher, and these claws right here have that floating material, so it's gonna kind of float up. I really like this on a Ned rig or a finesse jig, you know, whether you want like a mop top jig, something like that, something with a little hook in it. It's 2.5 inches long, so you know, it's gonna be a really compact jig, whether you're spotted bass fishing or smallmouth fishing. I think this is gonna be a huge hit.
Yeah, absolutely. I fished this bait on St. Clair last week, and just like Brett said, hey, awesome Ned rig bait, awesome drop shot bait, great on the back of a jig. You know, because there's air in there, it's going to float up, so it's always going to be up in the crawfish position. But look at the appendages on here too. It's going to displace a lot of water. So I mean, I'm barely touching this thing. It's shaking around. Just an awesome bite-getting bait on those highly pressured days. I feel like this is a real need in the Yamamoto lineup, and I can tell you guys it works. I've caught a lot of fish on it. Catches big ones, and it's going to get a lot of bites. And of course, we've got the great Yamamoto fish catching colors. You know, huge variety of colors, you know, from the green pumpkins, you know, the black and blue, everything. So awesome new bait from Yamamoto, the Covert Craw, 2.5 inch bait. I fished it, I'm excited about it. You guys are gonna definitely wanna get it.
Awesome. That is the new 2.5 inch Yamamoto Covert Craw. Awesome little bait, like they were saying. BFS seems to be kind of a theme for this year's ICAST. This is going to play right into that theme there with being the small little bite-sized profile. That's the Covert Craw by Yamamoto, available at tacklewarehouse.com for pre-order now. All right, guys, next for Yamamoto, we have got the Nuki Bug. Little crawl profile. I'm super excited about it. They're going to tell you all about the techniques to throw it with, but some of them you probably would not expect a bait that looks like this to do in that scenario. I'll go ahead and pass it off and let them tell you exactly what the Nuki Bug is capable of.
Yeah, so hey, this is a bait that I'm really excited about. Hey, last year we had the Yamamoto Nuki. We released that from Yamamoto, and now we have the Nuki Bug. So it's the same concept. This is a high density bait. A lot of salt in this bait, so you're gonna cast it a really long ways. You know, this is something that I'm not gonna Texas rig. I'm gonna throw this thing weightless. I'm gonna let it fall all the way to the bottom, and then I'm gonna fish it on the bottom. This is a crazy popular technique in Japan. You know, we saw that with the Yamamoto Nuki. The guys are throwing it out, they're dead sticking it, that high density style bait. They're kind of just dragging it, popping it every once in a while, and you're catching some of those really big bass in Japan, really highly pressured bass. And we saw that last year with Yamamoto. So yeah. Nuki Bug, you know, this is gonna be basically the same bait as the Yamamoto Nuki with a lot more action. You're gonna have the pinchers on there, the little appendages, same great fish catching colors. You're gonna have this hook slot in the bait. Again, you're gonna throw this, for me, on a bigger line, that 16 to 20 pound fluorocarbon Texas rig. I'm gonna throw it out there, let it hit the bottom and twitch it along the bottom. But Brett and I were talking, he's got some great ideas too that I know work, and see what he has to say.
So, I mean, obviously you kind of have that same body as the Yamamoto Nuki, and then the Bug has the appendages on it. One thing I really like is that groove in the body. Yeah. You know, it allows you to kind of expose that hook, but it still is weedless. You know, so you get really good hook set penetration in it. And one thing that I know all you guys love to do is a swinging head, you know, like a football swinging head. Put that on there. On the bottom, this is going to keep that bait on the bottom and give a lot of action and move a lot of water, whether it's in a dirty water scenario or a clear water scenario. This thing is going to catch fish. And of course, our Yamamoto colors that you guys all love, we got them in it. Check it out.
That is the Yamamoto Nuki Bug, a heavy soft plastic to load up on some heavy bass. It's available at tacklewarehouse.com for pre-order. Make sure you guys head on over to the website to check it out. All right, guys, next up at the Yamamoto booth, we're going to be talking about the 4-inch Fat Senko, something that I am super excited about. Fat Senko has played a big part in my arsenal for years. There's always those times where I feel like I'm just missing bites or I don't have something quite small enough to be able to do it, but don't take it from me. Go ahead and take it from the professionals.
So obviously the 4-inch Senko has been a huge hit for years, and now we just made it a little bit thicker. And what I like about this is whether you're fishing at maybe even Texas rigging or just Texas rigging weightless, if you're fishing cover, you can bury that hook in there, and when you're pulling it out of cover, it's not going to pull the hook out and expose that hook. And of course, great for a wacky rig, Nico rig, all the things that you always do with the 4-inch Senko, but just a little bit fatter, bigger profile. But what I like about it the most is if you are going to use it in a Texas rig form, it protects that hook when you're bringing it out of that heavy cover, keeps it protected so you're not getting hung up and going through baits a lot.
Yeah, I really felt like this was a must-add in the lineup. Because it's a fatter Senko, there's going to be more salt in here. Same salt content as a normal 4-inch or the 5, but there's more body space here, so more salt. So it's going to fall a little bit faster. What's cool, when you get in a windy situation where it's harder to cast the Senko Texas rig or wacky rig, you're going to be able to cast this a lot easier, just because it's a little bit heavier, but it's going to fall a little bit faster. This is the perfect size, really, to get bites. The 5's always been a big deal, but the 4 on those pressure lakes again, smallmouth. I find myself starting with the 4-inch now, and this is going to be a player for sure. So same great fish catching colors, heavy bait. It's got a lot of salt in there. Like I say, 4-inch Yamamoto Fat Senko. This is going to be a player. I'm excited about this one.
Absolutely. 4-inch Fat Senko, heavy salt content available in Yamamoto's signature fish catching colors. This is going to be available at tacklewarehouse.com for pre-order. Make sure you guys head on over to the website and check out all of the ICAST releases, but especially the 4-inch Fat Senko. All right, last up, here in the Yamamoto booth, we're going to be talking about the Shad-shaped swimmer. Awesome little paddle tail swim bait there. It's available in multiple different sizes, bunch of different colors. I'm super excited to get my hands on these. You guys should be too, and here's why. The pros are going to tell you exactly what to use it for and why it is so awesome.
Yeah, the Yamamoto Shad-shaped worm has been a massive player for all of the Yamamoto guys, including you guys out there. Awesome drop shot bait. We really wanted to come out with a little swim bait, so Yamamoto's in the swim bait category now, and we got an awesome new bait. And this is, like you say, the Shad-shaped swimmer. We're gonna have 3 sizes of this bait. So we're gonna have a 3.2-inch, a 3.7, and a 4.2-inch bait. One thing that's really cool with the Shad-shaped swimmer, you're gonna see how skinny and long the tail is. So a lot of swim baits kind of, go down and they have a tail right there.
Yeah.
With this longer tail, you're gonna get a lot better action, a lot better body roll out of this Shad-shaped swimmer as well. So not only you're gonna have that body roll, but you're gonna have a lot of tail kick. There's not as much salt as the Shad-shaped worm, so it's gonna be a lot more durable, but tons of action, 3 different sizes, great colors, awesome bait.
Yeah, I totally agree, Cody. I mean, we got all the right sizes in it. And when I first tested this in the pool, with this squared off tail, it takes very little movement. I want a swim bait when I'm casting on a spinning rod to be able to just creep that thing along the bottom and still have good action. The other thing about this, it has a belly slot in the belly and a top slot for the hook for that weedless presentation. Whether you're using a smaller hook, you're going to have that slot so that you're still going to get that good gap and get good hook penetration when you catch those fish. Jig head, weedless, whatever you want, this is going to be a great bait for you guys.
Awesome. Super versatile bait, again, available in all of the Yamamoto signature fish catching colors. The Shad-shaped swimmer, available on tacklewarehouse.com for pre-order. Make sure you check this out and all of the other Yamamoto soft plastics we talked about on tacklewarehouse.com. And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the Yamamoto booth. Cody, Brett, thank you guys so much for sticking around, telling us what's up with Yamamoto.